Hi everyone. I hope you're enjoying the weather, although I know it seems weird not to have big events and cookouts and fireworks and all those kinds of things for 4th of July, and I know that it's very weird to not be preparing for Canal Fest this year. We'll be sending out information shortly about plans for resuming in-person worship services at 9:30 next Sunday morning. I'll still be recording and posting these messages for a while, even as we resume Sunday services. And I'm even planning to trim my pandemic beard, even though with masks you still won't necessarily see much difference. Today's gospel reading from Matthew 11 contains one of my favorite passages, focusing here on verses 28 through 30. Come to me, all you that are weary and are carrying heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. I know that for a lot of people, and particularly for a lot of guys, suffering in silence and being strong seems very important. And these days in particular, a lot of people are carrying heavy burdens. Concerns about health, jobs, fears, grievances over things that have happened to us. Some of these burdens are things that we put on ourselves. Our expectations, our desires for things to be a certain way. Some are things that happen in life that we can't control. Sickness, disasters, the weather. Some are burdens that others have placed on us or done to us. Responsibilities that we feel we owe to someone. Insults or hurts from other people. Some of these things last from generation to generation. Even though many people don't want to talk about it, many families suffer from traumas that started with the behavior of one family member and continue for many generations until someone or several people start to try to heal that trauma. In the last month, there's also been a lot in the news about the ongoing effects of racism and injustice. Problems that aren't easy to fix and certainly won't go away if we just try to ignore them, but problems that many people who have not wanted to listen to this are starting to listen more. So many of these things we can't control, but they add to our stress, our worry, our fears. But what does it mean to just bring our burdens to Jesus? Despite what some TV preachers may say, it doesn't mean that once we pray, everything will be fixed. It doesn't mean the problems will just go away. But it may mean that how we view them will change. Maybe we'll learn that some of our problems and burdens aren't as important as we thought. Or they're not things that we have to try to control because we can't control them. Maybe we'll realize that the ways that we have been burdening others, and we'll try to stop doing that. Maybe we'll recognize the ways that some people have been burdened by racism and intolerance, and we'll try to start to change the systems that perpetuate injustice. Maybe we'll try to help others reduce or share the weight of their burdens as well. Whatever we do, I think one of the important things is to stop trying to carry it all by ourselves. I think I've shared this before, but I remember a time during college when I went on a service trip to the Cherokee Reservation in North Carolina. While we were there, they invited us to participate in a sweat lodge ceremony. Think of a low tent or a hut with a sauna hotter than anything I'd ever experienced. The sweat was just oozing out of me, worse than some days this week. And at one point I was trying to stay sitting up where all the steam was because I was thinking, I'm tough, I can handle this. But the man leading the ceremony said to me, you don't have to do it all. Lay down and let Mother Earth support you. So I did, and it felt so much cooler. And I could make it through the rest of the ceremony. Different cultures and religions have different ways of expressing this. But it's an important lesson. We don't have to do it all, and we can turn our cares over to God and seek God's help. This reminds me of the serenity prayer often used in 12-step programs. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. As we consider the struggles that we face as individuals, communities, and nations, let us try to turn our burdens over to God and find ways to support others with the burdens they carry. Have a good week, and I hope to see some of you next week at 9:30 on the 12th.